Hello. This is a printed copy of the DSS statement on the court invasion that happened. And I went through it. First of all, when I was reading the statement, the first time I read the statement, it sounded so familiar. And I was wondering why is this statement sounding familiar as if I have read it before seeing it seeing it online. And I just realized that it is almost word for word for the narratives in the that the BMC handles and those supporters of government and that attack everyone else, that criticize the government, and they're always supporting the government no matter what. Is part of mostly they just be sharing that message. It's good number the way it is. So I like that was why it was looking familiar, just reading the statement. The first thing that I would like to talk about here is the fact that when something it's a lie, an allegation is being made against you, the first thing you do is immediately you refute it. Immediately you put a stop to it. Immediately you say no, especially organization like this. So it was a very big allegation, big crime that they were being accused of, and so for them to stay that long to wait as an afterthought to do a statement and begin to look at how to do damage control and begin to blame, it makes it not to sound it doesn't ring true, and that's just the way it is. I just want to look at certain issues just from using the statement, certain issues that for me I can just by reading the statement, things that I'm looking at. The first one here is where in the statement where they said that it is instructive to note that during the court proceedings of the day under reference, defense counsel Femi Falana called the attention of the judge to a suspicion that the service was planning to rearrest Omoyele Sowore immediately after the court session. The court discountenanced his alarm and asserted that the service was law abiding and would not engage in such, and subsequently adjourned to February 2020. That's the statement of the DSS. In that same statement of the DSS, in another paragraph below, they said, eyewitness and several media accounts have disclosed that the court had adjourned peacefully without an incident when suddenly the unruly crowd imported into the courtroom went into frenzy on the mere suspicion that DSS was sighted at the court premises. The eventual rearrest of Sowore by the DSS was effected outside the courtroom. His lead counsel has affirmed this. So you see, in the same statement, an earlier paragraph where DSS was saying that even when the counsel to Sowore told the court that they had suspicion that there was going to be a rearrest, the court said that that cannot be true because the judge said that DSS was law abiding and would not engage in such. That same DSS on that same day outside arrested this Sowore. So in other words, DSS is now the one that has this countenanced the alarm that was raised by Falana. So has now discountenanced the no, not the one raised by Falana, but has discountenanced the statement made by the court. So indeed, DSS is not law abiding, going by their statement and their action. So that is one. So that is number two, right? So number three, they talked about number three here from the statement. If you look at the statement, they talked about that a critical look at the videos in circulation would convince any objective viewer that there was no DSS personnel during the entire period the Sowore crowd acted out its orchestrated drama. Its personnel were never at any time involved in the incident. So for me, the question is here, when they said a critical look at the videos in circulation would convince any objective viewer, DSS, do they wear uniform? Is there a uniform? Are they like police in their uniform that this is DSS? The only way most time you know this is DSS is that those they are ill-fitting suit. You see them at when they are walking stiffly around. Most of that time they try to blend in with the people, and all of that. So how are we supposed to know who the DSS are? Apart from that, in a lot of videos that we have seen, especially the one we saw when Sowore was in one of his court appearances, when he wanted to talk to journalists, and then they dragged him away. DSS people dragged him away. Were they wearing uniform? It's not this. Is it not the same kind of suit that the person who was dragging him in the court was wearing? So please, it's not about not bringing out a statement, but at least respect our intelligence and bring out something that we would look at it and say, okay, yes, you guys are trying. But for this statement, it's an insult to our collective intelligence. So the fourth thing also that I will talk about here is where they talked about. Let me go back to the statement because I marked out the points, and I just want to use exactly their statement. So where they talked about the DSS as a professional, responsible, and law-abiding organization, which because the court had said that they cannot go and arrest him because they are law-abiding, and they arrested Sowore again. So what does that say? So by reading what they say, the DSS as a professional, responsible, and law-abiding organization could not have invaded a courtroom, including the one presided over by a respectable judge who is not only handling its case, but whose order was unconditionally obeyed within a 24-hour ultimatum. So what about the other orders that they have not obeyed? Is it that the DSS at that time is not professional, it's not responsible, and it's not law-abiding? So we need answers to that. Or is it because they don't respect those other judges that they don't follow their instruction? What about even when they even broke the orders, even in case of Sowore, what happened? Then coming to 5, that the DSS holds the judiciary in utmost respect, and then so of course. So you're beginning to wonder, okay, what about the other issues about the judiciary, the other orders that have not been obeyed and all of that? What happens to those at that moment? Is it that they don't hold them in utmost respect, or is it at certain moments that they hold them in utmost respect? Even while holding them in utmost respect, you still went to the court with the intention of arresting Sowore, when his counsel would point out to the court that DSS, you were there to go and arrest. DSS were there to go and arrest his client. The court said no, that can't happen, because he knows that pretty sure that the DSS is law-abiding, responsible, and will not. And you went ahead, even you went to arrest inside the court, which you are denying, and you said now it's outside the court. It's outside the court what it's supposed to be. Then I come back to the sixth point here. That is I'm going to make, which is one of the statements that they have in the paragraph of the statement, where it said the agencies it said it has therefore become unarguable and raises a moral question as to who between Sowore and the service dislikes or disobeys the court. In this regard, public attention may be drawn to the 25th July 2019 statement of Sowore, that where he said, I'm not talking of protest, I'm embarking on revolution. Don't tell me about legal implications or what a judge will say. I don't care. And then, continue. So that's where they stopped. They didn't finish the whole statement. And you know what I found really, really funny about this? Because exactly those BMC handles exactly had used this part when they were tweeting at us and putting out things and saying all sorts of things. So this same narrative, immediately I saw it in the statement, I was like, whoop, their hand. You can see them everywhere. So I'm not joking. So that is it. So the seventh thing also, number 7, looking at So where they said that, so according to the statement now, what DSS is saying is that sort of like implying that Sowore had broken his bail condition, because they said on the 5th of December when Sowore was released, he had at the Transcorp Hilton Hotel Abuja addressed a group of persons who he reassured of his cause to create anarchy in the country, according to DSS. So is it this based on the fact that okay, he wasn't supposed to give a statement or talk to journalists or talk to people or whatever, he had broken his bail condition? Yeah, is this what is happening? And then if that happens, is DSS not supposed to go back to the court and let the court know that this is what has happened, or is it for them to just go and swap in and arrest him? Don't forget also from the DSS statement where they affirmed the fact that the judge had said that, when the counsel of the Sowore raised the issue that he was going to be rearrested, that can happen because DSS is a law-abiding organization. So now you see they haven't been law-abiding. If you follow, they have gone ahead to arrest him. And here they are talking about the fact that he met with people and he was still talking. So why didn't they go back to the court if the DSS, like it has said, they have this respect for the judiciary? So the eighth thing I'm going to talk is where they say, in the statement they said it may be recalled that the DSS had on 3rd of December 2019 raised alarm about a plot to destabilize the country. It is quite remarkable that the plot has already started playing out. I think I think what DSS, I don't know whether DSS are not living in Nigeria or they are somewhere else. The country is already destabilized. I mean, what do we have on ground with all of go to Abuja Kaduna Road, people can't travel on it. Even the DSS themselves with their gra, let them try it and travel on that and be using that road. Let's see. So the country is already destabilized. When you have Boko Haram out there, you have killer headsmen, you have bandits, you have kidnappers, you have crimes happening everywhere. I mean, crime is now so normal place. Those that will snatch, those that are stabbing, even within Abuja, there's so much crime everywhere. You leave your car for a moment, you're going to be attacked in your car. People are being all this one chance taxis and all of that. People are being attacked. People are being injured. People are being wounded. And then you're talking about that the country is already destabilized. What are you talking about? So go after all those people that are destabilizing the country and just stop making insinuations and making yourself feel important. So what is it there that they are talking about? Every day you bring out the same script. They are going to destabilize the country. The country is already destabilized. Do something about it, and that's what we're saying to the DSS. Then the other thing also, the ninth thing I'm going to talk about is where, funny enough, DSS came to say that to ensure this objective is further achieved, some persons and groups are scouring to seize the opportunity of the misleading court incident and wrong narrative against the DSS to organize an insurrection in the country. So who is DSS talking to? Who? So your action, the action of DSS ensure that Nigerians were angry because this is a slap on our face. The democracy that a lot of people died for, they're trying to truncate it. And people raised up their voices, and that's the voice that they are afraid of. Is that unity when Nigerians speak out? So that tells you something, that the government is afraid of your voice, that the government is afraid of you coming together and standing for something. Because when they know you do that, they know that they are in trouble. It will no longer be business as usual. It will now be business unusual. And that's the reason why at every moment they throw things in so that you'll be fighting amongst yourselves and you will not have that voice. So the voices that have been raised is what they are afraid of. So what is it? Is it that is making them say that, people are seizing the opportunity? No, it's not people seizing the opportunity. It's what you have done that is wrong, it's unconstitutional, and we're not going to accept it in our country. And it's earlier DSS realize that, the better it is for them. And Nigerians, this is the moment where we have to know that this nation is our own. It's not for a few people, and we must fight for this nation and must insist that the right thing be done. So that is for the where they talked about, and they also said that they have continued to falsely curry and mobilize international sentiments and attention through clear misrepresentation of the facts for their selfish ends. what is more selfish than DSS that has refused to follow, to go and invade the terrorists, that have refused to infiltrate all the groups that are killing us and ensure that they are taken care of? What have they done with the bandits, the terrorists, the kidnappers, the criminals all around? What have they done? Nothing. And yet, because the international world was aghast at what they had done and there was condemnation all over the world, so now they feel it. They always want to look good outside. They also have to curry their favor. So now they are going to blame it on the people who are raising their voices. Is it because of the Niger Black Monday that we're going to have that is making you afraid, or is it the protest that is being called for that is making you afraid? You shouldn't do the wrong thing. If you do not do these things, there wouldn't have been any need for anybody talking or raising their voices. If they had simply, of course, what happened when they released Sowore, people they're clapping. Did you see anybody say they were going to do a protest to you for doing the right thing? Did you see anybody calling? Did you see any the international committee coming to condemn you for releasing him or anything? Wait, by the time you do the right thing, nobody is going to. You won't even have, even if the person wants to, they won't have space to go around. But if you don't do the right thing, definitely people will talk. They will not be silenced. This is our country, and we all are stakeholders in Nigeria. Then okay, so that's then okay. They talked about seizing the moment. Then the other thing, of course, I saw where they were talking about emphasizing on the fact that Sowore is facing trial not as an activist, journalist, or a politician, but for his resort to call for violence, forceful takeover of government, and suspected transnational illegal activities. It is most unfortunate that Sowore, shortly after being released from custody based on court orders, resorted to act inimical to security. So, in other words, because of course there has been the international world and everything, the heat has been on them, talking about arresting journalists for saying the truth and all of that. So they just want to take that out of it. That was the same thing we saw with our country, our military trying to label someone a terrorist, a journalist who always brought out the true picture of what was happening in the Northeast. And so this is the same thing that DSS is doing, that have continuously tried to do that. And then for you to really know that the statements from the international community is really getting at them, what is being said there, it's really getting at them. Basically, is where they will end it with the fact that where they say those sections of the populace have been fed with spurious narratives about these developments. Nigerians and international community should not be gullible or even vulnerable to the machinations of groups desirous of misleading them. This is not about any group misleading anybody. This is about the action of DSS, and the earlier DSS own up to it, the better it is for them. From their statements, you can see everything that it's not properly brought out. And if they're going to put out a statement and they're going to lie, please, they should do it intelligently. They should not abuse our intelligence. Our nation will continue to stand for it. Will continue to be law abiding. Will continue to do the right thing. I will not allow security agencies that are set up to be the ones that will not be law abiding, to take the laws into their hand. They need to know, every security agent should know that their allegiance is to Nigeria and Nigerians, and not to the president and the ruling party. Thank you.